There's a battle brewing over the contract of a local superintendent.
Plus, free lunch for all. Those stories and much more in tonight's Making the Grade with Idaho Education News reporter Kevin Richard. It's Wednesday with Making the Grade with Kevin. West Ada School District. The board is looking into whether or not the previous board violated the Open Meetings Act. We'll explain why this is going on.
Yes, let's turn back the clock clear to June. Now, the last board meeting for the old school board was on June 23rd. The board had an executive session, then they had an open session, and in that open session, the board voted to extend Superintendent Linda Clark's contract for another year. This puts her under contract through 2018. Divided vote, 3-2 vote. Well, 2 of the 3 trustees who voted to extend the contract, they're gone. One was voted out in the election in May, one has retired. So now the new school board, led by the 2 newly elected trustees, they want to go back and look at whether the school board violated the open meetings law with that closed executive session. And if they find a violation, they would want the board to then go back and basically start over and just do a do-over on decisions that were made in that June 23rd meeting, including extending Linda Clark's contract.
Are they out to get Linda Clark? Are they looking to not extend the contract? Do we not really know what's going on?
I don't really know if we know that yet, but basically one thing that is telling is that the vote last night, it was 4-1 to re-examine whether there was a violation of the open meeting law. The only trustee to vote against that was Mike Buitenay. He is the only holdover member of the school board who voted to extend Linda Clark's contract in the first place. So this really does kind of all just tie back into a very public dispute right now about extending Linda Clark's contract.
Okay, we'll continue to follow it. School lunches. There are numerous schools in the Boise district, all of Caldwell, and now some in Nampa, where students are getting free lunch through a federal program. Is this a good idea? Is it working?
Well, if you listen to the schools that have used it, Boise started it last year, and they've expanded the program. They've added about 7 schools to it this year. The way it works is this. If you have a school that has high poverty rates, you have a lot of students who would qualify for free lunch anyway, what you can do is basically provide free lunch and free breakfast to every kid in the school. And the theory is the schools are going to save enough on paperwork that it's basically going to pay for the meals for the students who would normally pay some subsidy towards their lunch, because you still receive some federal funding for school lunch regardless of whether a child is paying. So that's basically the theory of it. Like I say, Boise's expanded it. Caldwell jumped into it last year, the first year that they could do it with every school in the district, and they're still doing that. Nampa jumped in this year with 11 schools, and what they tried to do is figure out, well, which 11 can we do and make sure that it pencils out. They're really convinced that they played it conservatively to make sure that that this is really going to work as planned, and that they're not going to have to pay the difference back to the feds.
We'll have to watch and see what happens with that. One other story I wanted to get to, you're posting it tomorrow on idahoednews.org, going to talk to Wilder schools because they're going the tech route.
Yes, it's a very interesting story that we're going to want to watch as it unfolds. Wilder, the 2 schools in Wilder are 2 of 114 schools in the country that are part of a program that Apple is putting on to try to get technology into the schools. So the way this is going to roll out, and it hasn't rolled out yet, is that every kid in all of the Wilder schools is going to have an iPad. And so it's an interesting school district for this to be happening, because it's a very low-income district, some of the highest poverty rates in the state. A lot of kids who don't even really have internet at home will still be able to use the iPads. They'll still be wired and be able to do their homework and take it home to do assignments. So it's a very interesting process of trying to get tech into a low poverty, high turnover school district.
We'll see.
And I'm really going to want to get it back out there in a few months when it's rolling. But what we're writing about is just kind of the why Wilder and what are they hoping to accomplish. So
and you can find that on idahoednews.org. That'll be up starting tomorrow. Kevin, thanks for being here for Making the Grade.
Thank you.